see here. All right, give it a couple minutes. Let people join in. All right, let's get started here. All right, so last week we said that we would get a bounce and we would be targeting this area right here on ES. Okay, this is the area, this 5830 to 5860 area, and we hit the upper end of that on Monday. Monday we hit 5837. Okay, we hit that resistance area, which is that previous area that we broke down from. Okay, so we said that we could hit that area, and we also hit the R50. Okay, we did come up there on low volume. On low volume, we did get up there, so that was a little issue right there to going up there with no low volume. Thought some volume would come in, but it did it. So more sell volume. So this area here is currently a sell area, right? So when we hit this area, we did get some puts. We got some puts yesterday. We got some puts today. So this one hit on this was today. This was Tuesday. This was Monday. So we got some puts on Monday and Tuesday, and we got some today. Now this could come back inside here, and this could consolidate, and we can make another little push here to this area here. We said the maximum what we were looking at the upside was around here, 5,900, 5,900, 5,960, right? But we could stop right here at this area and then come back down. This was the previous area of resistance that we fell off of right here. So this could be a back test and confirm, and we go more down. We'll see how that figures out later, or this week, or later on into next week. Now, the reason why I say that is because I still feel like we do push the rest of this month, and I feel like next month is when we really drop, if we actually drop, right? So here we are in our long-term channel. And here we are, bouncing on the lower end of the trend line. And then here we go. We hit that upper end of that pink area. Okay, we rejected it so far. But the week ain't over, right? If we continue down, then yes, this is a big giant bear flag. This was a back test and confirm, and we're going to break down. And we're going to be heading lower, a lot lower. We do have a squeeze firing down this week, but we're on the upside. So that thing that could turn red again. So that's not confirmed yet. Okay, we got low volume still into this week. We got 2 more days, but we can see today we rejected that area here, sold off. Okay, and now we're holding that 20 SMA on ES. Okay, now, so we came back, we hit this area that we were anticipating. Okay, we thought we maybe get a little tiny bit more, but we didn't. Okay, but we said, start adding puts in this zone. Okay, this was the pink zone, right? That's the zone that we were supposed to be adding puts. We added some this week. We added some this week. Okay, we got some long ones for this week. I mean, not this week, but we got some long ones for out of this week. And it's not guaranteed yet that we're going to drop it off yet. Okay, we're holding that 20 SMA. We could come back inside this pink area and come back to that 200 SMA and consolidate in here for a little bit and then drop. Well, we'll see. We did get some pretty good sell volume today on ES at least. We got higher than we had the buying power on Tuesday and on Monday. So a little bit higher, but still not average. Not average and not more than average. So what we're looking at here is, look, in this pink area, you want to be adding puts. Okay, this might chop around here. If we do drop and lose these areas and get back into this consolidation here, most likely we're going to come back and test this area again and see if it does bounce again or we drop it off. But here I do still think we still consolidate here. I still think we go a little bit higher. I don't think it's going to drop yet. The reason being, look, I know they there's a lot of talk on tariffs and whatnot and other issues, but the real big issues aren't until April 2nd. Okay, so until that comes, I feel like we have a little bit more of a dead cat bounce on its way. Now, you could check this out on the 4-hour. We could see here. We can see here. We're right on that lower channel. We're right on that lower end of the channel here. So if that holds, we could come back inside and push it through and go higher. If not, we drop it off and we come back and test these lows here at 56.50. And if that doesn't hold, we drop it down. But came inside this pink area, hit this area here, 58.38, dropped it down. We're here right now. Okay, we filled this gap. We had a little gap on the daily and on the 4-hour. We had that gap. We just filled that little gap right there. Okay, and we're holding a 20 SMA. So if we get back inside here, then we could chop around in there, maybe go a little higher. And if that doesn't happen, we drop down, come back, test this area here, doesn't hold, and we fall back under here and then drop it down. And then we lose the big large channel and we're going to be heading down towards 5400, 5300, and possibly all the way back down to 4800. Okay, now of course that's not all said and done yet. Okay, we got to see. Today was a bad day down, but we could easily come right back up halfway or even more tomorrow and consolidate in this channel and continue on higher. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at to see if this holds. We did have a bear flag on the hourly. It fired down and then failed. So it failed, fired down on the 1 hour. So if that one does continue to hold, then we should be heading up tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at so that's ES. Let's take a look at SPY here. Okay, now for SPY, same thing happened here. Monday we hit that gray area. Okay, that's where we got puts. Tuesday again we hit that gray area. That's why we got puts. And then today we hit that gray area again. That's another why we got long-term puts. Okay, now we hit that gray area. We got above the 200 SMA yesterday. Okay, we still hit that gray area, couldn't get over it. Today we're above the 200 SMA, and then we dropped it and lost the 200, the 100, the 20, and the 200 and the 20. Okay, the 100 and the 50 are up here. Now, we said that was a possibility that we push it up towards 580. Okay, that doesn't happen yet. Okay, and a possibility we could go to 588. That hasn't happened yet at either. Now, what is happening is we're getting rejected right at that 575 area, which is right where that gray area is that we fell out of. Okay, so if we hold this area and we stay rejected from this area and we continue down, then this is going to tell us that we are going into a recession, basically. This is going to tell us that the market's going to continue dropping down. Okay. If we drop out of this, bounce, and we come back, test it, and it confirms this is down and we drop lower, then this is going to confirm that we are going to be dropping to 535. We're going to be dropping to 535 and possibly 500, if not 487. Okay, so that is scale to the weekly to 585 or 487. Okay, that would be confirmed if we continue down from where we are now, from that back test and confirm, then we'll be coming and looking for 487 or a little bit more, 47 area. Okay, 47 area, and that's going to be at the lower end of this channel. Since we're at the higher end of this channel, if we get out this box and we lose it, we could come back 535. Okay, that's going to correlate with the 20 SMA. If that doesn't hold, then we go down to that 487. All right, so here we are on the weekly. We see that box. We see it's back testing the box right here. Okay, rejecting it so far. We got a squeeze firing down on the weekly. So this is telling us it's rejecting right here. This confirms, and we head down, then we go lower. And this is going to be the area where you should be loading up puts. So this rejection here is an area that you should be loading up puts for essentially another drop. Okay, so that's basically what it is. SPY, if we can't get through that 575, then this area right here we should be loading up puts, because that's where we're going to head lower. 535, 521, 500, 487. Right, so we got this area. We thought we would get this area, the 200 SMA. That was our target, 573. We got 575, and we didn't get the 580, and we didn't get the 590. Okay, so this area here, rejection. If we continue on and lose 563, then that's going to be a telltale sign. Okay, we're going to be heading lower and go lower. Okay, so this area here, very good time to buy long-term puts. Yeah, I got some long-term puts yesterday and today and Monday. So something to look at. Again, we're still above this trend line here. So we could still push it up tomorrow. We could still hold it in that consolidation area, about right here. We do have a little gap fill right here at 564.89, but I don't know if that's gonna get that right now. If this gets up and consolidates inside here, we might push up a little bit more, and then roll over closer to April. Okay, we got what, 5 more days left in the market, in the month, and our monthly candle is looking. Monthly candle looking like this, little bearish engulfing there. So if we do lose that, we're gonna come here to the mid area at 535 for sure. We're gonna go to 535, and then if that doesn't hold, then we go 500, and then 487 in this area here. We're gonna be heading and resetting at the lower trend line, and then from there, we'll probably start heading up and probably heading to new highs, new all-time highs. All right. So that is SPY for you. All right, take a look at NASDAQ. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Dow Jones. All right. So NASDAQ is a little weaker than SPY and ES and Dow Jones. So here our resistance area was right here at 2,950. The 200 SMA was right here at 2,454. Okay, we ended up bouncing and hitting 2,500 and then rejecting that. So again, if we could come back tomorrow this week and get back up here, then we have a possibility of going and testing that 20,100 and then rejecting that there. Okay, RSI is rejecting at that 50 area. Okay, so we're rejecting at the 200 SMA and at the 50 RSI. Okay, not so good so right now, but it's only one day, one down day. Okay, we get more down days, then we're going to confirm it. Okay, we're going to go back down. We're going to break this low. Okay, so it's load up time for puts. All right, but so far, holding the 20 SMA here. Okay, we could come back inside, consolidate there, be very volatile market, and then possibly make a push here before the end of the month, and then the beginning of the month, next month, could come back down and start falling all over again. Okay, but so far we see that, you know, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks down. Okay, this little bounce here, not too great. Okay, if we get that little bit more, that'd be great, but who knows? Okay, we got a squeeze firing to the downside. If this doesn't hold well and we fall, then we should fall towards this area here, 18,400. That's going to be our target area. 18,400, 18,000. And we're going to see, do we hold that channel? Do we hold that channel, or do we not? Or do we come back even more and come back all the way to 15? Okay, so that's a possibility there. All right, looking at the 4 hour here. Okay, we're holding that trend line there. So holding that trend line channel. So if that continues to hold, if 20,000 holds, it could possibly bounce back up. We did gap fill there as well. So if that holds up, push it up and consolidate, and then possibly make a move. But again, if we drop off, then that's going to confirm us going lower. Okay. Okay. QQQ. So QQQ, same thing. It's weaker than SPY and Dow. Here we have we hit the 20 SMA or 200 SMA yesterday, and then we lost the 20 SMA today. Okay, we did not hit that gray area like SPY did, so it's weaker. That bounce was a lot weaker. We didn't get up to there. We hit the RSI 50 and we're rejecting there. So if we continue to reject the RSI 50, we continue to fall here. That's gonna tell us, okay, we're rejecting the 200 SMA, and we're gonna be falling lower. And where are we gonna be falling lower to? Gonna fall lower to 463 initially, then 460 or 438. Okay, 438, and essentially 417. And the lower end of this channel isn't all the way down until about 380. So 388. Do I think it's gonna go that low? Let me see here. 400 could go to 400, and then possibly bounce there, or if it comes all the way back down to 379, 379, 380 area. That would need to be an area that it needs to hold, and then reverse and start all over and set up to go to all-time highs from there. So if we do get that fall off, if this is a back test and confirm for the drop, then we come down to this areas here, and then you'd be a big buyer there. But so far right now, we see that we're rejecting the 200 SMA. We lost the 20 SMA. Okay, but it's been one day. We could all come back tomorrow. It's very volatile. If we don't and it continues selling, then we confirm it down. Okay, again, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, it's still in this bullish channel. It still could go a little higher, and then it could try it again to go higher. But we'll be watching it. So tomorrow, if we're more down, then we're gonna head lower. See, this area, I would say this area is a better area to get puts, but this area could be as well, because we might not even make it to that area because it's so weak. If the Qs are extremely weak, then tech is going to be extremely weak. Tech is extremely weak, then we're going to get some major sell-offs in large tech. Okay, but right now we had one day down. Okay, we've had a couple days up, 1 day down. Okay, this might just be a little back test right here of this 485. Okay, if we get back over it, we can potentially push it. If we don't, we lose it. We go to 480, and we lose that 480. Then we come down to 472, and that's going to confirm that this is going to be a rejection, and we drop lower. Okay. Okay, IWM really hasn't moved that much. It hasn't moved really that much at all. Okay, again, it's right on that trend line. Okay, right on that trend line. We hold that. We can push back up over that 207 and then make its way to that 214. But so far, yesterday was weak. Today's weak. Low volume, very low volume. Only 60%. RSI almost touched that 50 area and rejected. So IWM looking really weak. Okay. Let's see here. DIA. DIA here. Kind of just consolidating there. Still above its 20 SMA and its 200 SMA. Right at the RSI 50, and it's having trouble there. So again, if this loses that 422, then we're going to be back inside this 418 area. If we could hold that, consolidate, we could potentially push it up to 429 and revisit 433. But so far, just going sideways on good volume though. Good volume. So some of these things in the Dow are money. It looks like money kind of going into the Dow right there. Okay. Money kind of going into the Dow right there. Okay. All right. All right, Meta. Okay, Meta here. We could see that the purple lines here are the long-term trend lines. Okay. Let me remove this here. Grab it. All right, we can see that the purple lines are the long-term trend line, long-term channel, and we can see that we're rejecting that area right there. Okay, we had an indecision candle here. We had a bottoming tail reversal here on the weekly, and then here we don't have the candle finished yet, but it's looking like a rejection candle so far. Okay, again, the week's not over. We got 2 more days. Monthly candle, we can see that we have a topping tail candle inside month candle. So that is a basically a bearish harami with a topping tail candle, and then we have a confirmation happening this month. If this stays like this, most likely we're going to 480. We're going to 480 on Meta, and we'll probably have a hard reset on Meta here, and we'll probably go. Let me grab this here. Probably going here. Let me fix that. So first, we'll go to 560. That doesn't hold. We'll go to 540. Go to 540. And if that doesn't hold, we'll go to 500. Go to 500. And then 480. So, again, Meta is rejecting that trend line right there. Okay, rejected 630, rejected this trend line here. If we, it has a gap fill right here. Gap fill right there at 597. Okay, so this has to come back tomorrow and be up above that 20 SMA. That 20 SMA is at 618. 618.14. So we get back up above there. We could possibly set up some kind of little bull flag there and try to push back in. But if not, we keep selling off. We go to the 600 gap fill, and then we continue on back down to that 200 SMA. And if we lose that 200 SMA at 575, then these are your targets down here, 541 and 500. Okay, BA. The Dow is looking all right because stocks like BA are in the Dow, and they're not doing so bad. BA dropped hard to 146, 145.50, and then bounced hard from 145.50 all the way back to 184. Okay, now it's holding above 177, making a bull flag. Still good. V recovery, consolidating. It's going to be in that little consolidation until it decides to break out or break down. Looking how strong it came back, I think that it's probably going to be looking to break out to the upside. Lots of good volume in it, so I would think that it could set up for the upside. Okay, IWM already did. Okay. All right, look at here. We'll do Tesla here. So Tesla had a downtrend. Okay, we broke out of this box, hit that downtrend here, and then yesterday got above that downtrend, back tested it, got above that 200 SMA. Then today we got back under it, the 200 SMA, and then sold off, but we held the downtrend. So this is a little bull flag here on the daily, holding that downtrend. So that's still good. Still essentially good. We're above this downtrend. Okay, we get below that 265, then we got problems. We're probably going to go back down to 250. All right. Costco. Okay, Costco popping up some. Okay. I'll be looking at 961 to get short that. Okay, because of that head and shoulders pattern that we had. So if we could get to that 961 area, I'll put a little alert there. Get puts on that. Okay, that crosses there. Okay, so be looking at that area. It hits that area. Just get some long-term puts on it, and then see if it drops off. Okay. Let's see. All right, I wanted to jump on what stocks are doing good. Oil this one made a big breakout. XLM pushed through, hit 115, 118, and it hit almost 119. No, hit 119 today. Okay, hit 119 today. Looks good. Okay, we got CVX. CVX broke out. Major breakout. Past that gap fill area, almost hit that 170 area. Okay, that one looks really good. On the weekly, we could see that we had the breakout. We broke out of there, broke out. So if this continues to stay above 167.50, we should be going in 170, 175, 183. Okay, our side looks good. Everything looks good. Oil long term looks really good. So I like that. Okay, same thing with XLE. Okay, XLE pushing through, made a new high than a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, or actually 2 months ago. Okay, made a new high. Okay, we need to get through that 95. Once we get to that 95, we visit 97.50, and we could break that, then we go 100. So this one, we hit this target here, 94.8. Okay, that's good. Maybe get a little pullback there. I don't know if it gets a little pullback. Maybe tech pops it a little bit. Maybe market pops it a little bit. But this little trend channel should be good. Yeah, this should be good. So whether it pulls back or not, I think this should be good. And making new highs looks good. Looks great. Okay, another one, Oxy. Oxy hit 50 today. Didn't hold on to it, but it did hit it. Okay, we wanted 50 to 51 by the end of the month. Okay, we still got 5 days. Okay, we hit it today. Maybe it consolidates a little. Maybe it pulls back. I'm not sure, but as long as we get over that 50, that 52 by the end of the month, I think this one next month is going, higher, 55, 50, 55 into the 60s into the next couple months. All right. Okay, SNY here. Well, we got this gap fill here that we hit. Has some good support right there. This stock looks like it's just stuck in this sideways, long-term sideways area. You got some pretty good support right here. So could hold that, maybe consolidate there, but it looks like they're at the top area. Has a nice squeeze on there, but RSI's not supporting this pop here. So not sure about that one yet. Okay, we could see that there's good support here, and you could get a little bounce, but if we lose that, this thing's going straight to 51, 50, 51, 50, 51.80, 51.50. Yeah, it's going straight there. If we don't get a bounce there at that 54.50 area, then this comes straight right here, and then maybe even back down here. RSI is already below 50. Stochastics are on the way down. It has an indecision candle. Whatever it does tomorrow is what it's going to do. So if it's down tomorrow, then it's going to go down. If it's up tomorrow, then we'll go up some. But as of right now, indecision candle at an area of very strong support. You're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. What does it decide to do tomorrow? That's where the direction is gonna go. Okay. All right, Broadcom. Okay, this one doesn't look too good. Okay, so Broadcom is in a bear flag, descending triangle pattern. Um, if it loses this, let's see here. We lose that, goes to 260. 260. Okay, we're right at that 50 SMA on the weekly. So we lose that, you know, we go to 260. And then 140. Let me grab this. Okay. So yeah, I would anticipate that if we lose that area here, we're gonna come down to 140. 140, maybe a little bit more. 140 area, 135. So 135 to 140 area is where I would be buying it. Because right here, right now, it looks like it's going to drop off and head down here. So this loses that. We go 160, then we go 140, and 140, 130. 130, 135 area. Okay, that doesn't look so great. Doesn't look strong. Below its 200 SMA, R size below 50, squeeze forming down, stochastics coming down. Very weak action. Pop was weak. Bear flag is in there. Descending triangle. Looks like it's going down. 160, then 130, 139. Okay, and then I'd be a buyer around that. Maybe 130 area. 130, 135 area. I'll consider it a buy there. Okay. FGO. Okay. Oracle. Okay. Oracle here. Okay, 20 SMA acting as resistance on Oracle. 20 SMA acting as resistance. RSI getting rejected at that 50 as well. Okay, Oracle's another one. It's if it's not gonna hold, it's not gonna hold this area. It's gonna drop off. It's gonna drop off. And where's it gonna drop off? You see that bear flag here on the weekly. Bear flag there on the weekly. Okay, we drop off to 127.50. Okay, and then if that doesn't hold, then we come down here. to 115. That doesn't hold. We go 107. But it looks like, yeah, looks like if we don't hold 127.50, we go 102, and then 115 is your mid level. So yeah, this would get real bad if we don't hold 143 or 137. We don't hold 137.70, then we go 127.50. If that doesn't hold, then it's real bad, and we go into this consolidation zone, and then this won't come back until about 107, 102 area. I wouldn't be a buyer until then. If that 127 doesn't hold. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, MicroStrategy. Like MicroStrategy, it looks good. It does. But if the market's gonna be weak, you can't help to think this is gonna be weak as well. But again, I like it. I like the stock. I think the stock should be up higher into to the thousands, into 8,000. It should be 8,000. But is it a good buy here for the short term? No, let's see. So looking at this here, okay, we go here, and we come here, consolidating there. Not too bad. Okay, not too bad. This one consolidated for a long time. This might just stay in here in this zone. It's a large zone, but I think it might stay in here. I think we broke down to the downside, and then I think we stay into the upper zone here, where we have the 20 SMA at 342. That's where it's getting rejected at. So I would say, look, it has a nice W pattern on it. It's looking like it wants to target 350, 348. It might go a little higher. Might go 358. Okay. If it does do that, W pattern is complete. But as long as it stays in this channel, it should be good. Now, if this if breaks this channel, breaks 316, then it's not good, and it's going to come back to 300 and 287. But if it stays in this channel, it should be good. It should be going to 348, 358. Okay. All right. Okay, Pepsi here. Pepsi had a big day today. It usually goes up when the market goes down. So Pepsi's been inverse to market for a little bit, for this year at least. Okay, so had a big day today. The market had a big down day today. All right, so where we at with it? Well, this consolidation's still there. Okay, this consolidation held here, so that's good. Now we need to get back over to 152 and get back into this consolidation. But that's going to be a little mission, because we have to get over that 20 SMA and the 50 SMA and that, essentially, that 100 SMA. So does it look good? Yeah, it looks good, but does it have a journey ahead of it? It does. Okay, hourly has a nice bull flag setup. It could go higher. 4 hours, same thing. Bull flag setup, it could go higher. Looks good. And look, if the market drops, then this one's gonna pop. But you need to get over these ones, and you need to get over 152. You're not in business until you're above 152. Okay. All right, let's go next one. Google. All right, Google, look, you have a lot of support at 161. A lot of support. Okay, Google's been dropping hard. Okay, we had that large area of consolidation at 161. Held it. We rallied 3 days. Okay, hit our targets, 170. Okay, and then we had that big drop today. Okay. What? Look, below 164.20, I don't like Google anymore because it's going to go down to 161. Okay, if it could get back above 166, all for it. It's going to come back up, and we could still make a push to that 175. Okay, so if that gap fill is 164.24, but if we're below 164 in general, 164, then I think that this one is no good, and it's just a drop with the markets. But you could see that Google hit or got close to the RSI 50, came back down. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to 4 hour. All right, so we had that nice push. Then we had a drop. Okay, now we're hitting this area of support. If we come back over this area, then we'll be fine. We go under this area, we're not good. We stay in here. This is chopper. It's in a chop around. But we need above that 166, or we need to be below 164. Okay, over the long term. This it's still looking good. Essentially, it had a bottoming tail, bottom tail, and then here we have up. So we need to push that up a little bit higher. We get that 174, 175, and then even if it rejects at 175, 176, cool. That could still be a bear flag, and that could drop it off. But right here, I feel like it needs to go a little higher. Needs to go a little higher. From all these days down, it should be able to bounce to at least 176. But again, if the market's extremely weak and it's not doing what we want it to do, we have a gap fill here. We gap filled that yesterday. Maybe it just wanted gap fill and then keep falling. Whatever that is. We'll find out. If we're below 164, okay, it just wants to keep falling. If we get back above 166, 167, then okay, we're good. It still wants to keep going higher. Okay. See, SNY had huge multi-million dark pools orders that came in yesterday. Well, it was an indecision candle today, so whatever the direction is tomorrow, that's where you're gonna go. Okay, NVIDIA. All right, NVIDIA. So we already know that we're in a downtrend on NVIDIA. We already established that last week. Okay, we anticipated a push towards this gray area, which is at 128, 131. Okay, we got a bounce here to about 122.89, and we're consolidating. Okay, today we had some news, and we dropped off. Okay, stricter regulation on chips. Okay, so that hurt initial news. Okay, Okay, now after hours it's a little bit more down, right? So here's the thing: if we stay below 112, 112.80, then we're gonna be coming back down, dropping all the way down to 104, and maybe more. Okay, but if we can get back above 112, 112.80, and more importantly, if we could push it back over 115, then you know that this is just consolidation chop, and 112.80 is going to be the low area, and then 122.70 is going to be the upper area. That's going to be our chop area. Okay, which I think that's what's going to happen. I think it should bounce, and then we should be in this chop area. If it does it and we keep going, then that's going to solidify that the market's tanking, because the market's going to keep dropping if Nvidia keeps dropping. So that's going to solidify the market keeps dropping, and then we're going to just be, heavy puts on the way down. Okay, but as of right now, I still anticipate a bounce. We only got to the 20 SMA, and then we got past the 20 SMA here. We didn't even hit the 50 SMA or the 200, or the previous breakout of 124. So, yeah, this is it's just weak. It's just really weak right now. But it could be chop. Could be chop. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. We'll see if this just starts to bleed out and go to 104. Then that's a problem. But if it could pop back over 112.80, and then tomorrow get 115, maybe it still has that life of that consolidation. If we don't, we stay below 112.80, then we're gonna go 108 and 104. Okay. Apple. All right, so Apple, this gray area is a consolidation. We were outside the consolidation. We got inside, and we pushed it all the way to 225 today. Okay, we hit 225. 225.02 was the high. Hit that 225, and then rejected that 20 SMA. Still going up in a sense. Low volume today, 67% volume. It was a very low volume day. Very low volume day across the board. Okay, so Apple doesn't look so bad. It doesn't look so bad. 4-hour chart looks pretty good. RSI still above 50. We're still above 219. We did hit 225 today and then close at 221.50. That's a big drop from the start to the finish, but we gapped up a little bit. Okay. So still looks like it could go. Still has a possibility. Let's see here. Okay, so it's holding this previous resistance here from yesterday. It's holding that. Finished right on it. Held it. So if it could hold that, it could stay inside this area between 221 and 224. Okay, and then make a little bull flag and maybe pop it or we'll drop it. Depends on what it wants. Since it's low volume, these last couple of days have been extremely low volume. it's telling us that the market is waiting for something. Even though we're getting moves in the market, the volume is so low. There's waiting for something, and I'm anticipating that it's waiting for, April. That's what I think. It's waiting for April. Um, uh, so I think that the volume is gonna be pretty dry and low for the next week, and then April. I think April big volume comes in, and I think that's when the money's gonna be made, whether it's puts or calls. I'm anticipating puts, but there could be some surprise that I don't know about, and it just could just take off with puts. I mean, take off with calls. Not sure, but um, Trump could say, "Oh, never mind on the tariffs," or the tariffs are lower, or we're gonna postpone them another month, or whatever it is, and then that will take calls higher. But if he doesn't, and if he says no, they're implemented, then you go in. Markets are gonna react and then fall off. All right, J&J. All right, J&J has this big giant cup and handle, big giant inverse head and shoulders. You know, um, yeah, it's time to buy it. I said that 160 was going to be time to buy. I said that when I was like 165 or something like that. But it's at 160. I think it's time to buy. Looks good. Has a squeeze for coming down. RSI is right at 50. Stochastics are down, but it's just consolidating. This is just consolidating sideways. I think that I think healthcare is still looking good. We have that nice V recovery. Okay, nice little bull flag, little cup and handle. Looks good. We got this one on the bottom, rode it to the top. Um, I think that I don't think it's gonna go this month though. No, I don't think it's gonna go this month. It might go next month, or it might even go. It might even go in 2 months. Okay, it has a nice squeeze to the upside. That's good. Earnings are 415, so that's next month. Um, it might have some pop there, but I still think this goes in like 2 months. So if I was getting in long, I'd probably wait a couple days, maybe even another week, and then I would get some. I would get some May. J&J, right? J&J, and then what am I looking at? Okay, we're at 160. We're at 160, right? 161. And we're targeting 171 and 175. Okay. I would say, okay, 171, 175. That's pretty good. So I would be looking at 170s and 175s for May. And they're pretty cheap. $1.22 and $1.22 and 48 cents. It's pretty cheap for 51 days. Okay, that's almost 2 months. Okay, that's almost 2 months out, and you get to play earnings, whether it's good or bad. But again, I don't think this goes for another 2 months. So if you want to even get longer, some Junes. So June 175s are only 99 cents, and 170 calls are 205. So you get 86 days. So that's 4 months. Okay, or not 4 months. It's 3 months. You get 3 months. 3 months and some change. Okay. Or just 3 months. Sorry, 3 months. Tripping. What day is it today? 26. Yeah, about 3 months. Okay. So, yeah, if you want to play J&J, that's what I would play. Does it look good here? It does, but I don't think it goes for a little while. It might pop. It might pop to 168 in the short term. might pop to 165, 168, but I think it consolidates here until earnings, and then earnings does what it wants. Maybe it drops, maybe it doesn't, maybe it pops. But I think that it's not gonna make its big move until earnings or after. Earnings might not do anything, but I think the safe bet is to get May or June's. So yeah, May or June's, and they're not that expensive, so you could sit on them, and they look good, you know. And if you want to hedge on there, just because the market's wild, I would hedge with 150, 150 puts in May, and 150 puts in June. I would probably do 155 puts in April as well, just a hedge, just in case it drops to that 200 and bounces back. Okay. LLY. Okay, LLY. Not looking too hot. Not looking too hot right there. Let me see here. So LLY, you know, it was doing great here, and then it had this box, and then it dropped, and then here we had this other box. It got in there, and then it dropped and below. So it doesn't look good to me at all. I don't like it unless it comes back down to 800 or something, or 814. You know, it just doesn't look good to me. I don't like it. I don't like that it dropped. I don't like that it's here. I don't like that it's weak. It was super strong, and now it's not. So, don't like it at all. Okay, IBM. IBM. We talked about this last time. We said it was going to be in this consolidation and stay in it. And if we drop below this 283, we'd go to gap fill. But it looks like it's just going to go sideways for a while. I said that before. It's just going to go sideways for a while, make room in this channel, and then it'll go higher. But it's not going to do that until, see, when earnings 423, that's next month, a month away. It's not going to do anything until then, that's for sure. And then it might not even do anything then. It might wait for another month, May or June. So again, May or June, or even July for this one, for it to move. I don't think right now it's not gonna get out of this consolidation zone. So top consolidation 266, bottom is 246. 246. So when you're closer to 246, buy it. When you're closer to 266, sell it. Okay. 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 All right, Dell Technology is in this big giant downtrend, going down and rejecting the 50 RSI. Okay, coming above that 20 SMA, but now looks like it's coming below it again. Okay, we could see that. Might be holding that weekly 100, but it still looks weak. It's not looking like it's bottoming at all. So I wouldn't be looking at any longs here. I wouldn't be looking at any longs here yet. It still looks weak. And you know, it's below 100. As long as it stays below 100, it's going to continue going down to 85. So, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that one at all. All right. So last time I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I didn't like banks, and I still don't like banks. And banks had a nice rally last week. So, Goldman Sachs. Nice huge rally, right? Look at that. From that consolidation where we used to look at it, and then we got in and played it. We didn't play the whole thing, but we played some of it. You know, now it's up here. Okay, there's the uptrend. Okay, it's trying to get that whole uptrend back on the monthly. It's not there yet. Okay, on the weekly, okay, we broke out of this and got to this target of 567. Okay, and then dropped off. Okay, hit that resistance here. I mean, hit that support here, and bounced. Okay, I'm anticipating to hit right here, 599, and then that's where I want to get puts. Might get puts now because it's rejecting this uptrend that it previously had. So that could be forming like this head and shoulders area where it kind of tests this area and then drops back down. And then we go 447, 446. I mean 477, 446. Okay. And that's the area where I'm anticipating it goes to 447. Okay, so 477, 447. Okay, that's my anticipation. So 100-point drop, more than 100-point drop on there over the next couple of weeks. I'm not saying tomorrow, but earnings 414 probably drop for earnings or then. So I would be looking at. Okay, we almost got there too, right to that my point. We almost got there today, or today we got to what 592. Okay, mine was 599 that I was looking at. Okay, didn't quite hit that 100 SMA. And dropped off. Okay, we had a nice big bounce from there, that 200 SMA. But this could be just a giant bear flag. Okay, so what I'll be looking at is, let's see, not April. I'll be looking at May. May 500 puts. No. Let me see. June. June 500 puts. And what did I say? 446, 447 full. So 450. And June 450 puts. So those two puts is what I'll be looking at. I don't like the banks. I think they dropped still. Okay. The only bank I'm not gonna mess with is JP Morgan. Because it's a really strong bank, and it still has its bullish channel. Not to say that it doesn't look bad either, but it doesn't look as bad as the other banks. Okay, it doesn't have the same weaknesses as the other banks. It still has a bear flag on the weekly, but it has a channel still. Okay, it doesn't have a bearish divergence like Goldman Sachs does. Okay, this one didn't sell off as bad as Goldman Sachs either. Now, Now XLF, which I got I got a lot of them today. XLF is let's see here. So we have a bearish divergence on the monthly, okay, and we have a bearish engulfing on the monthly forming, okay. The weekly, we have a bearish divergence as well. So candlestick's coming down. Okay, another bearish bear flag forming there. Okay. And on the daily, another bearish divergence. Okay, and then here is the reason why I got some today is because we see this consolidation pattern here where we dropped off and we fell off. Okay, then we bounced at this area here, came back up, and now today we hit that previous area. So most likely it rejects there. If that rejects there, we continue down from there. Okay, if that happens. Now if we get back in there, maybe we have an issue. Okay, but below 50.70, I think this one goes down to 49.50, 48, 47, and possibly more. Why? Because what do I see this as? I see this as one shoulder here, the head here, and this is your right shoulder forming right now. So we have a head and shoulders on the banks. So we have one shoulder here, the left. We have the head, and then we have the right shoulder forming now. Okay. So let me put that in the weekly so you can see it better. So we got one shoulder, the head, and then now we're going to form the other shoulder here. So it might take a week or two, maybe even longer, but I think that right shoulder forms and we drop it back down to 45, 43. Okay, at least 45. But yeah, 44 and 43 are targets. But I think that's where the banks go. So long-term short banks and long-term long oil. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I think this is the perfect time to get short XLF. Perfect time. I don't think it sees 50 again for a while. And I do think, I think we see mid 40s. Mid 40s of 42. I can see this drop into 44 to 42. So, and it's really cheap to play. And we got paid on this before. So, I think right now is a great time to get it. And get long puts on it. And just wait it out. Even June 46 puts. They're 47 cents. I wouldn't get those though. I would get probably 48 puts. 48 puts or 46 puts. I would probably get 46 puts. 46 puts and 48 puts for June. The spread is pretty wide after hours, but we'll see what it is tomorrow. And I'll probably get some more tomorrow. May 40. I'd probably get May 49 if I didn't already get those already. I might even get 50 puts because they're only $1, and the spread is very close. So only $1.08 and cheap for the move that it's gonna make. That's gonna be a pretty big drop going down, and if it clears out that and drops even lower to that 45 marker, that would be a huge hit. Huge hit, especially for 51 days out. Might even get June 50s or what? They're like $1.40. That's not too bad. Wouldn't mind to get those either. But we'll see which ones I'm looking at. Which one look good tomorrow. All right. A B B B. All right. This here doesn't look good to me. Okay, if you're outside of this, if you're under 206, it doesn't look good to me. It looks bearish. You know, unless this pops back up inside of it tomorrow, then this one's going to continue going down. So here's your slope. And here you're going to continue going down. You can continue going down into this level here and possibly gap fill here. Unless you could get back up above that 206. And if you get below 198.50, that's what this one's done, and it is going down there. So you got to hold 198.50. You got to get back above 206. Otherwise, nothing's gonna happen. Okay. Okay. All right. Bristol Myers. Bristol Myers has to hold 59. Okay, this is where it has to hold. Has to hold that level, 59. Doesn't hold that level, then you got issues. Okay. If it doesn't hold that, you got chop area right here, and if it doesn't hold 57.90, then this one's going down here, 56, 54. Okay, if it could hold it, maybe it forms a little bullish pennant, and it could break out this downtrend. But if it can't break that downtrend, and it can't hold that 59, this one's going down. If it does push up, you got here 61. And you got 63. So those are your areas of resistance there and there, and here's your area of support here and here. Okay, you got to get out of this, otherwise it goes sideways for the next couple of days. Okay, XYZ. All right, XYZ. XYZ hit this double bottom area here, but don't like this here forming on the weekly. It doesn't look good. So here on this is a potential bull flag, but it needs to hold. It needs to hold this level 59.50. So if it can't hold that 59.50, this one's gonna come back down. If it could hold that, then this could set up for a proper bounce to 165.60 to 70. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to chop around in this general area for a while. Okay. Yep. I'm still bullish on Oxy, CVX. I did a whole thing on them earlier. So if you want to rewatch it, you can. I went over all oils. I went over CVX. I went over Exxon Mobil. I went over Energy XLE. I went over Oxy. I went over all of them. Still bullish. Still long term bullish. Still bullish for the next couple of months. I said they could pull back in the next day or two, but overall, I'm still very bullish. And if they do pull back, then that's going to give tech a chance to bounce and get back up. But if not, then they're going to keep going. All right. Okay, let's check out Bitcoin here. Okay, Bitcoin is right at that area of resistance that we talked about. Okay. And it's grinding on it. So, grinding on it here. RSI right at 50. Squeeze for me. So, either Bitcoin breaks out and pops back up, and it needs to get back over that 91,300. Got to get back over that. If it doesn't, then, we got problems. Then it's going to come back down. We're going to drop down, and we're going to go lower. Okay. But it looks like it's trying. But if some news comes out, something comes out and drops it, I don't know. But this is a make or break area right now. It's forming right on that trend line. Okay. Now, if that does drop from here, we know that this is a downward channel. And if that's a downward channel forming here, which it looks like it is, then we're going to be heading down towards that 65. That's 74 and then 65,000 level. Okay. All right. So if that happens, market's going to go lower. So that's again, we're in an area right now where either we go higher right now and come test that 91,300 and see if it comes, because we already tested it here. We rejected it. Now we're coming here. If we don't even get there, we reject here. We're in a downtrend. We're going to go down, and that's going to hurt. Stocks that are in Bitcoin. XYZs, your Masterons, your coins, all the stocks, Tesla, all these stocks that are invested in Bitcoin. It's gonna hurt them. It's gonna drop it. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. So we're gonna watch that, see what happens there. It looks like it's in a downtrend, but when it's consolidating next to the upper end of the channel on the downtrend area, then typically it wants to break out. So hopefully that breaks out and it tests that 91,300 level. If it gets back in there, that's a good thing. If it rejects and comes back down, of course that's a bad thing. And if it just rejects now and falls, then we got a problem. Markets are most likely going to fall as well. Okay. And we have that gap fill that already got filled. Hit that 200 SMA. So let's see if we could get that break. If we get that break on Bitcoin, know that we're going to get that break in the Discord. I mean, not in the Discord. I'm sorry. We're going to get that break in the stock market. In the stock market, and we go higher. Okay. All right, guys. That's all I got for you today. All right. So, thank you for your time. I'll see you guys next week. And thanks for stopping by.